Good day guys, welcome back to the Kids Tutorial class. Basically, I'm doing this video to talk about what happened when I was doing my last video, for upload. Now, there was this question I was trying to solve. I think it's y raised to the power 4 minus 2y raised to the power 3 minus 2y squared plus 2y plus 1 all equals to 0. Now, we're given a condition that p equals to y minus 1 over y. Now, two things. In solving a question where you want to substitute a particular variable into the equation, how do we solve it? I believe the first method is to say, okay, check the question or the equation to know if what I'm to represent is there, such as putting p as y minus 1 over y. Now, the equation is not an equation with p, okay? It's an equation with y. Now, if that is the case, then what does it imply also? It implies that I can also transform the equation to the form of p, where I will now substitute p to get my answer. Now, in that case, if I'm substituting p, what am I looking for there? I'm looking for p, obviously. Then after getting p, I could now say, okay, the one of the y equation is equal to p's value to get y. Now, I started the video, right? And while on it, I got to a place where I got stuck. Okay, so it's probably because I didn't try it out before coming on board, to solve. So, but notwithstanding, that is the process of solution, to making sure that our answer, will tally. Now, look at how I solved this very quickly and why I stopped. Now, for this case, we were told that we should use these, to represent, we should use b to represent x plus what? 1 over x. And in this case, we should use p to represent what? 1 plus 1 minus what? 1 over y. Now, in this case, it means you have to transform your equation to a form that looks like this before you solve. The same thing for number 2. You have to transform your equation to a form that looks like what? This before you solve. Now, at this point, what will I do? The very first thing I have to do is what? Let's divide all through by what? Y to the power 4. Now, you have to solve this. For this, I will divide all through by what? X to the power what? 4. So, let's start with this. Right? Now, how do we go about it? Number 2, I have this, so I'm going to have y to the power 4 divided by y to the power 4 minus 2y to the power 3 divided by what? Y to the power 4. Alright? Minus 2y to the power 2 divided by y to the power 4 plus 2y divided by what? Y to the power 4 and then plus 1 divided by y to the power 4 all equals to 0 also divided by y to the power 4. Now at this point you solve group and then represent it with p, whereby you see y minus what? 1 over y. So at this case, what do I have? I have this as what? As 1. Alright. So I have this gone. This means y. So this is 1 minus what? 2 over y. Then plus minus what? This goes, this means 2. So I have minus 2 over what? Y squared. Then plus this goes 2 over what? Y cubed. Right? Then plus what? 1 over y raised to the power 4 all equals to 0. Now at this point, let's see what we can group together and then solve together what? Final answer. So at this point, what we now have, we can see that okay, now you notice that I stopped at a place where I have 1 minus what is it? I have 1 minus 2 over y minus 2 over y squared plus 2 over y raised to the power 3 then plus 1 over y raised to the power 4 all equals to 0. Now at that point, what I now did was I stopped the video and I had to take my book and Bible, which you can see me with here. Now I took my Bible and my book and I decided to check it out. On solving, on trying out different things, I had to look for a way to put the value of p inside the equation, which I did. And after doing that, I got my p as 0. Actually got my answer for p. Alright? So I'll show you the solution very shortly, when I did my notes. So but before then also, I decided to check to know if p is equals to y minus 1 over y. I know quite right that I can use polynomial method to solve that equation without that condition attached to it. And I'll get my answer. Alright, which I did, and I got the first two factors, 1 and minus 1. Alright, they worked. So when I place them in the equation p, which is equals to y minus 1 over y, I got 0. So I was like, okay, if I haven't solved this question, my p should give me 0. So when I just tried after a while, then solved, I got my p at 0. I was like, okay, I think that might be the solution then. So in this case, my question now is, why give me a different variable to impute in a different equation? How do I mean? P equals to y minus 1 over y. My equation is y, not p. Okay, very good. So looking at the solution I did on my book, with my variable, right, to get p at 0, let's go through it together very shortly. Now in this I start from the point where I have 1 equals to 2 over y minus 2 over y cubed plus 2 over y squared minus 1 over y raised to the power 4. At that point, I then factorize y out from the denominator and I cross multiply. So I have y to be equals to 2 over 1 minus 2 over y squared plus 2 over y, then minus 1 over y cubed. From there, y is equals to 2y squared minus 2 over y squared. I grouped those previous equations, that was above. I grouped them, and then the first two I found the LCM. Second two I found the LCM. So I have 2y squared minus 2 over y squared plus 2y squared minus 1 over y cubed. At this point also, I decided to group it, bring y, factorize y out from the denominator again and cross multiply. So at that case, I now have what? Y squared to be equals to 2y squared minus 2 over y plus 2y squared minus 1 over y squared. Now the idea is such that I want to substitute p into this equation. Now from the initial expression, we have our p to be equals to y minus 1 over y, right? But to find the LCM, it means that what? Y squared, minus 1 over y is what I'm going to get when I find the LCM. Right? So that's the idea of me solving this and then trying to express so I can substitute p into the equation. So at that point, I now have y squared to be equals to what? 2 into y squared minus 1 all over y factorized to out. So I can have that equation I just said earlier by finding the LCM of y minus 1 over y, which is the the value of p normally. So then plus 2y squared minus 1 all over y squared. Then from there I substituted p to have y squared to be equals to 2p plus 2y squared minus 1 over y squared. And then, so leaving 2p at the right hand side, take the other one to the left hand side. You then have y squared minus, into bracket dash dash dash. And I found the LCM of the left hand side to get it as that. And then I look for the factors of that polynomial, which is the numerator. I got that as y squared minus 1 all squared. From there, indices, I applied indices. I pulled out the squares and I cancelled them out. So what remained was what? Y squared minus 1 over y all equals to 2p. Now, my left hand side resembles p again. So I then placed p there to be equals to what? 2p. Then on solving, my p gave me 0. So yes, that's why I decided to do the video. Alright, so let's see your attempt on the questions and let's get to hear your reason why you solved it that way. I would like to know more.